Hey guys, want to talk about two products for stress relief today. Are you stressed out? What are you doing to manage your stress? Do you work out? Is that not enough? Are you trying to get extra sleep? Is that not enough? One of the main things people are using for stress relief, anxiety, mental fatigues is benzodiazepines, which are a category of drug like Xanax and Klonopin. Studies have shown that benzos, even taken once, actually reduce your lifespan. So that's no joke. That's serious. It's something you should heed. The other downside with benzos is they're extremely addicting. So the hard part is if you start taking a benzodiazepine and you start taking it over a period of time, you can actually go into massive seizures when you try to come off of them. So the point of this video is not to spend too much time talking about the drugs that people don't need. It's to talk about what you really can help you for stress, anxiety, focus. I'm going to talk about a product called Minchex from Standard Process. It's a product that I can't say enough about it. People love it. Everyone wants to use it. They're like, thank you. If I was ready to melt down, I was ready to kill someone, I'm taking the Minchex. It helps. Minchex is good for focus. It's good for concentration. It's good for constant stress. When you're under a high level of stress, it'll help you settle down. It'll help you focus. It'll clear you. If you're too high, like charged up and wired, it'll bring you down. And if you're really sluggish and your mood is low, it'll kind of bring you back to base. It's just foods, organic foods. So the other thing to be mindful of is if you are going to start taking something like a benzodiazepine and you're going to maybe go out and have a drink, there's a high risk or adverse events with that. If you're taking Minchex, you can still have a glass of wine. It's not going to kill you. You're not going to get sick. You can also stop taking this whenever you want, and you can kind of take it as needed. For a lot of people, they like it daily, business execs, people working real hard, a lot of focus, keeping your concentration. Minchex is very good. Minchex helps people sleep through the day. So it's kind of a natural tranquilizer without the dopey side effect. If anxiety is a real big thing for you and you really have a hard time calming down, there's an herb from MediHerb called Cava Forte. It's Kava. A lot of people have heard of Kava. They've heard of Kava tea, Kava supplements, Kava tincture. Kava is great. This actually does act a little more a benzo, but naturally. It doesn't have that bring you up, bring you down, balance you out effect that the food would have, but it does have a very calming, stabilizing effect. I've had a lot of people who've had to take big flights and they're nervous about flying. You take a couple of these before you go on, it really calms you down. Dosages range between 1 to 4, depending on patient size, body weight, stuff like that, and level of anxiety. Cava Forte is great. There is some information on the internet about Cava Forte being hepatotoxic. That was really based off a batch that came out of, I believe it came out of Indonesia or somewhere in the Far East, if I'm not mistaken, that got a bacterial infection. Well, it got contaminated with bacteria. It got wet in shipping, and bacteria ended up causing some liver issues. The medical community has kind of tried to extrapolate that across the board with Cava, which isn't the case at all. Kava is very safe, especially if you're taking it from a reputable source and it's very clean. There really are no liver issues with it. They should probably test your liver for other things when you're on drugs, but they don't. But as soon as something natural comes along that works for people, they find one bad instance of it, extrapolate it out, and say, don't take it. But it was very clearly like a mold issue in the herbs that was the problem. That's why you don't just buy herbs from anywhere, right? You want to make sure you're going to a reputable company. You should buy a clean source. Cava Forte is great. I love it when it's needed. Fortunately, I don't need it all the time, but there's definitely been times in my life I've needed Kava, and it really helps. People going through a divorce, people just stressed, panic. It really helps settle you down, keeps you calm. The benefit of these two things versus the prescription drugs is you're still going to be a functional person. You're not going to be groggy. You're not going to be like hungover the next day from the medication. You'll get through the sleep. It'll build you up. This, you're also getting nutrients that your body actually needs. So Minchex for stress is just phenomenal. Mental stress, emotional stress, focus. See it a lot with like kids with attention deficit. This helps tune them in, keeps them focused. Not necessarily the Kava for that instance, but I would say Minchex certainly for a kid that's hyperactive, can't sit still, can't focus. Minchex is great for that. Kava, I wouldn't necessarily use on a child unless it was a real extreme panic circumstance, maybe then, but under the doctor's supervision. So with these two products, you can really kind of help curb some of that anxiety that's going on. A lot of anxiety is also based on nutrient deficiencies, right? And so when your body's going crazy and your brain is struggling and your mind is not stable, you're really mineral deficient, and that would be the mineral in Minchex, right? And a lot of people talk about grounding and being grounded and getting grounded. Well, there's minerals in the earth, and that's what grounds us, and root vegetables and types of things like that. They ground the nervous system. They keep it focused. When you're stressed, your brain is rampant. It's going through all these different cascades, neurotransmitter levels, and it ends up causing mineral deficiency. And when you're mineral deficient, you're going to get a little hysterical, and then it's going to change your mood. That's really what is the biochemistry behind grounding that mood, is bringing those minerals in and getting grounded, right? So getting grounded is also walking bare feet on the earth. That's more of an electron grounding thing. This is consuming the earth is more biochemical grounding, right? Getting those minerals in. And our food is terrible in this country. So most food is mineral deficient. Most people are stressed. Most people are anxious, unfortunately. These are two things that can help you out with that. mm.standardprocess.com to find these. You can subscribe to the Masood method below. Share this information with people you know, because I'm sure nobody out there is stressed out. No one's ever anxious. Everyone sleeps great, and no one's ever worried about anything. You guys be well. Thank you.